G'day guys, welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Kez. Today we're going to be doing a pork collar butt. I'm going to put it on the smoker. Currently it's Saturday night. I'm going to let this sit in the fridge overnight with the rub on it, draw that moisture out so we get the flavour all the way through the pork. So then that way when we pull it, it has all that salt has penetrated inside of the meat. It's also grand final day tomorrow morning, or tomorrow night even, Panthers versus Broncos. I'm going to get up nice and early tomorrow at about 5 AM to put this smoker on, maybe a bit earlier. We'll see how we go. I'll let you know. But yeah, so we're going to get the pork on. Got it from your local butcher. It's just a pork Scotch fillet. It says it's moisture infused, so we'll see how it turns out. Probably going to run at about 200 degrees Fahrenheit for anywhere between 12 to 14 hours. We'll see how we go. I'll keep you updated how we go all through tomorrow. Our rubs that we're going to use the SPG by Suckle and Matt Pittman's The Gospel. Apparently it's their best colour in barbecue, so we'll see how that looks. Also, we're going to do some smoked mac and cheese, going to do a fried rice, and I'm going to have a crack at making my own dinner rolls as well. So we'll make some pork and gravy rolls for dinner. So let's go. We'll open this up. We'll get a rub down and get it stuck in the fridge for tomorrow. This pork butt itself, collar butt, it's weighing in around 2.7 kilos. So not a massive one, not feeding a massive group of people tomorrow. There's about, I want to say maybe 8 of us, if that. So I'm not going to worry about a bino. As you can see, I've just taken it out of the paper. Doesn't need any trimming. There's no hard fat. There's no loose spots. A lot of it. We might just take this bit off here. I'm not that worried. It's backyard cook. I'm not out here to win money, any competitions or anything like that. I will probably cook it this side up. We'll see how it looks in the morning. Maybe turn around because I've got a Pitboss vertical smoker, so we'll put it on that. But yeah, we'll just see how we go and play it by ear. We're not here to win money or anything like that. This is just for good eating. Good eating. So we'll get this salt and pepper rub on. Nice liberal coating. Nice liberal coating. Sorry, a bit of the peppers just hit me in the back of the throat. As you can tell, coughing me guts up already. Make sure you don't forget your sides. Get it a nice even layer all the way around it. Bloody hell, this thing. That pepper's definitely hitting you in the back of the throat. So you know she's going to be good. Nice heavy coating. Don't be afraid. It is a big pork butt. We want to make sure all of that meat, all of this rub, gets absorbed inside of this meat overnight in the fridge. We're just going to let it sit in the fridge overnight. And then yeah, been on the tins today. Watched the AFL grand final. So I'd say tomorrow she's probably going to be nearly a half a carton to a carton worth of piss drink. So we'll see how we go. Definitely get all this rub in. Make sure you pat, don't rub. As Aussie Barbecue likes to say on TikTok, save that for the bedroom. We'll get a nice heavy coating of the Gospel on top. Make sure you don't be afraid to put a heavy coating on, but also at the same time don't use too much, because unlike the rest of them that make the shit themselves, we've got to pay for it and it's expensive. It's about 25, nearly 30 bucks shaker bottle, so she definitely gets up there. And if you're buying rubs all the time, it makes it a very expensive hobby. So we'll give her a flip, give her a turn, get a nice coating across the top side here. Nice even layer, and there was enough moisture on this, so this rub's going to stick nicely. Don't have to worry about putting a binder, and it's going to sit in the fridge overnight, like I said. So it should come up pretty good. I'm just going to leave that like that. That's a nice coating. I might bloody just put this around her, get it all nice and coated, and yeah, well, I'll see you in the morning once we're ready to go. And then yeah, once I get the pit fired up nice and early in the morning, get this on low and slow all day so she pulls apart nicely. I'm probably not going to wrap it. I'm just going to let it sit. I might spritz it if it's starting to look dry, but I don't think my temperature's going to be hot enough tomorrow that it's going to need to spritz. And then yeah, I'll show you how I make this mac and cheese and the fried rice if we get stuck into it, and the bread rolls. I'll show you what happens there. But yeah, stay tuned guys, I'll see you in the morning, and stay hydrated. Rightio guys, Pete hasn't fully come up to temp yet, but I can't fucking stand around waiting any longer. Pork's on, got a drip pan on underneath just to save some mess in the smoker, and the water pan is in there. I'll close this door up. And get her shut up. I'm gonna head back to bed. I'll get up in a couple of hours time and have a check on it. Taking the young bloke swimming lessons today. So at least this temp's not running too hot that I have to worry about it catching on fire or anything like that. So stay tuned, keep it up. Yeah, bring it on. Rightio guys, smoker's been running for about nearly 4.5 hours at this point. No flare-ups, nothing like that. Pork's looking good. It's actually looking quite juicy. It doesn't look to be looking too dry. There's no real dry spots anywhere. I'll keep checking it throughout the day as we go. But it's looking pretty good. Haven't had much fat render come out of it just yet. But I'll turn the camera around and I'll show you. She's looking beautiful. That bark that rub looks like it's starting to set. I just got to top up the water pan. But yeah, so we're 4 hours in so far, expecting anywhere between 12-14 hour cook. If I'm starting to run a bit behind, I want to try and have it off by 7 o'clock tonight. Or maybe a couple of hours early so I can let it rest. So yeah, we'll just keep monitoring the temp. Might have to bump it up a little bit later, but we'll see how it goes. I don't plan on wrapping it, but if I have to, I will. But yeah, so I might stick an instant read thermometer in it soon and just have a rough idea of where we're sitting at. But yeah, stay tuned guys. I'll show you what else we're going to be doing later on today. We've got a pretty big one on with the grand final on today, so fingers crossed everyone enjoys what we're cooking up, and go the Panthers. Righto guys, we're about 8 hours into the cook at the moment. Pit's running absolutely beautifully. Great smoke rolling through. As we can see, the pork's starting to render that fat out beautifully. Temperature hasn't budged. She's running a little bit hotter at the moment due to the weather outside being nice and warm. Water pan's still nice and full. I topped it up before I just ducked out to go swimming lessons with the young bloke, but she's rolling on nicely. So stay tuned. I'm about to throw some chicken wings on the drum smoker down there for lunch, and I'll start this fried rice a little bit later on. Might even get the old girl to make it up. But yeah, she's looking good. No need to bloody spritz or anything like that. She's rolling strong and looking absolutely beautiful. Righto guys, welcome back to Grand Final Cook Up. We're still continuing. Pork's still rolling over there. She's sitting in the stall about 160 Fahrenheit. Couldn't tell you what that is in Celsius. I just watch all the YouTube videos and watch everyone cook in Fahrenheit, so it just makes it a lot easier than cooking in Celsius. At the moment, just got ourselves some chicken wings that I'm going to do up as well for a little bit of a snack before the pork is ready for tonight for dinner. I just buy them whole. It's a hell of a lot cheaper. You don't have to pay for someone else to debone it. I'm just going to take the wing tips off themselves. I was contemplating on splitting them in half, but to be honest with you, I can't be bothered. It's just lazy. Just want something nice and easy. I'll pack them all down on the smoker. I'll make sure they all not fit nicely. I'll show you a little bit later on the rubs that I'm going to be using. You may have seen them in the picture here, but it's pretty windy at the moment. She's nice and hot, about 30 odd degrees. I think we're pushing about 36 today. So I'm just going to de-wing these. I'm not going to save them or anything for stock or anything like that. It's just simple backyard cooking, nice and easy shit. Just straight through that bone, come straight off, you're laughing. And then we'll just throw them to the side, separate them, and then yeah, we'll go from there. Rightio guys, I've got the wing tips all taken off the chicken wings here. So for me chicken wings, At the moment, I'm going to run lemon pepper garlic from Suckle. And then I've got some chicken thighs, not chicken thighs, sorry, some chicken drumsticks on the side as well. I'm going to run with the SPG and the Holy Gospel like I put on the pork last night. So what we're just going to do is give these a nice coating. Righto guys, for my wing rub, I'm going to use the lemon pepper garlic from Suckle. Then I've got some drumsticks as well I'm going to throw on. I'm going to use Holy Gospel and the SPG, the same as I done on the pork last night. So we'll just get these all rubbed up. I've dried the wings off. It's a bit windy out here today. And remember guys, when you're cooking your chicken wings, you also want to make sure you're staying hydrated. Hydration is key. I reckon this is going to be probably an hour or so on the smoker, so anywhere between a 2 or 3 beer cook, depending on how quick I throw them down. We're ripping into them today, so make sure you keep your fluids up. Alright, time to season up these chicken thighs. Like I said, we're going to use the SPG and we've got the Holy Gospel, so we'll start with our base layer of this. Everyone's starting to slowly turn up now, getting all the shenanigans. The first game of footage just kicked off, so we're laughing. We're in for a big one. Plenty of piss will be deleted, that's for sure.
Your case is in my boot if you want to get it.
Oh, cheers, thanks. Sister-in-law just showed up. She's just picked me up a carton of piss. What a champion. Because I don't think 9 beers was going to be enough for today. Alright, I'll take you over. We'll get these loaded up onto the smoker, onto the tray, and we'll get them put on. Righto guys, so we've got the grate loaded up. She's as full as a centipede sock drawer at the moment, but I couldn't be bothered getting the second grate going because I don't want to have to fart ass around trying to put it in the drum. Yeah, I'll take you over to the smoker and we'll show you what's happening there. Right, yeah guys, time to go on the drum. We're just running it with standard lump charcoal today. We're just going to run it on the top setting. Better put this lid on before this tree drops any more shit on it. Put that lid down. We're going to try and sit around 350 Fahrenheit, push towards 400. Want a nice fast cook, get that skin nice and dried out, so we can have some good eating. We'll come back in, I reckon maybe an hour or so. I reckon she'll be done, and yeah, once we get her off, we'll dig into her. Rightio guys, Pitboss has been rolling for about 10 hours now. She's coming along nicely. Pork is absolutely looking beautiful, if you ask me. We are definitely sitting in the stall now. She's sitting at 160. It's actually dropping temperature because it's just rendering all that fat out. It's only 2 o'clock. I want to take it off maybe in the next 3-4 hours. If it's starting to lag a bit behind, I'll bump the temp up, but I'll stick an instant read in it just to feel that temperature gauge, see how it's going. But yeah, she's coming along beautifully, guys. She's been an unreal cook so far. Bloody unreal, this Pitboss. She's bloody efficient, that's for sure. I'm using the competition blend from Pitboss itself. 9 kilo bag, and it's doing real good. I've done a fair few cooks now just off this bag alone, so stay tuned and we'll show you the results later on. Just checking the temp on the chicken wings and the chicken thighs. Just got my instant read here. With your thighs and your drums and that, anything over 165 is good eating temperature for chicken. With the thighs, drums and wings, I like to run about 180 to
Sometimes you can push it close to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Just makes them a hell of a lot juicier. So all our wings and thighs are ready. I've got 2 thighs there that are a little bit underdone, but I've got to fire up the oven to throw in some bread rolls for tonight for our pork and gravy rolls. So I'll close this lid up. I'll go get my foil pan ready to go, and then that way we can tuck in for lunch and feed these fat dogs. Righto guys, these are the bread rolls we've made up. About to throw them in the oven, let them rise. Righto guys, chicken wings have come off. Let's give them a taste test. Haven't had this rub before. Absolutely pulled apart like ease. Chicken's so juicy, skin ended up crisping up absolutely sensationally. That rub's got it's got a little bit of a bite to it from that pepper. You definitely get that lemon coming through, that lemon pepper garlic. I docked it up a bit of a sauce, Blues Hog, believe it's competition blend, added a bit of sugar, honey, a little bit of hot sauce to it, and a bit of fucking rum. Yeah, she come up sensational. Righto guys, time to get stuck into this mac and cheese now. Big shout out to my mate Josh that I work with, who got me onto this recipe. He sent it to me after a fair few hydration sessions today. This YouTube video is getting harder and harder to film, the drunker I get. So we're going to start out with a 500 gram packet of just macaroni. You can either get elbows or straights, doesn't really matter, up to your choice. What I'm going to do is we're going to add a litre of milk. I might do a little bit less because I actually don't have that much macaroni. I'll do a little bit, whatever that is, maybe half a litre, just over. We'll add a little bit more. We'll stick that in there. If you want, you can also add diced bacon, a bit of shredded chook as well. It just all depends on what you're going, but I've got enough shit going on today. We've got the pork in the smoker. We've got some fried rice inside as well that I'll show you as well. And then I just made some homemade bread rolls. They went a little bit long in the oven, got a little bit too brown on the top, but they're still fluffy as all get out. Like I said, too many beers, forget about stuff in the oven. So we're going to use, what do we got here? We've got a 450 gram baguette there, perfect Mexican blended cheese, just whatever cheese you can wrap your hands around. I'm just going to sprinkle, it's probably going to use about 3/4 of the bag. Maybe, you know what, we might even end up using the whole lot in the end. We'll just sprinkle this in. You know what, stuff it. We're feeling unhealthy. We're not here to eat good, we're here to eat. We're here to enjoy our food. So we'll put that in there. I'll run back inside. Forgot to get myself a spatula, so I'll come back out and we'll mix this up. Alright, so now I've gone inside, got myself my spatula, so we're just going to mix all this through, get the cheese and the macaroni all incorporated. This isn't going to be the first time that we're going to mix this around. Once we get it in the smoker, I'm going to put it in about 250 degrees Celsius. I think that works out to be about 400 degrees or so Fahrenheit. Grab your favourite barbecue rub. I'm going to stick with the Old Faithful today. I got the Gospel by Meat Church. Best colour in barbecue, they reckon. So I'm just going to sprinkle that in, give it a nice coating through. Nice liberal coating. Get those flavours in there. And we'll just give that a bit of a stir back through as well, so then that way it's all incorporated. And I'll sprinkle a little bit more on the top once I put it through. And then we'll go and whack this straight in the smoker. And then once I put this in the smoker, I'm going to take this pork out to rest. I'm going to set my oven to probably keep warm after I let it sit on the counter for a little bit. And then yeah, so we'll let this all rest up here. But like I said, if you wanted to, you can put bacon, go to Woolies, get yourself a barbecue chook. Walmart, Kmart, bloody Costco, not Kmart, sorry. Wherever you can get a roast chook from, just shred it apart, throw it in there. Just make it your own. This is just a slight recipe. This is what I've got at the moment. It's meant to be sensational. Shout out to my mate Josh for giving us the recipe. Cheers guys, make sure you stay hydrated. Righto guys, pork's come up to temp. It's been on for, I want to say over 14 hours, over 12 hours now, probably pushing 13, nearly 14 hours. She's absolutely probing like butter. Everywhere we stick this thermometer in, she's just going in so soft. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to stick it in that foil pan just there, let it sit out on the counter, and then while I do that, I'm going to crank the temp right up to that 200 degrees Celsius, get it nice and hot, throw this mac and cheese in. It's going to take anywhere from an hour or so. Footy starts at 7:30. we're going to be eating by then. Alright, so we've got our pork out now. She is tender as, so soft. It's going to pull apart nicely. I'll let this rest. Might even stick it in the oven on the keep warm setting, so then we can shred this baby apart. We'll put this over here. This is what our mac and cheese looks like. We're going to put this puppy in the smoker and we'll crank this temperature right up. Mac and cheese in, lid on. Turn that baby up to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Stay tuned when we come back out to stir the old girl. Righto guys, time has come. I think we finally got there. We've had plenty of beers today. I'm definitely not, we'll just say with it. We'll see how this goes. From what I can feel, it feels pretty tender. We're in a bit of a rush now. The game's about to start. Got some hungry folks that we got to feed. Mac and cheese is just about to come off. We've got the fried rice warming up in the oven. My old girl's right there in front of me. She's taking the piss out of me, but she's lucky I love her. Anyway, let's pull this thing apart and hopefully she's nice and tender, because otherwise I've wasted all day cooking. But anyway, let's get stuck into it. She's going to be nice and hot. That's why I got the white gloves on underneath. So let's just start pulling this apart. She's absolutely tender. Got a little bit of structural integrity to her, which I actually don't mind. It makes it that way. It's not going to be real mushy in your mouth. She's absolutely scorching hot. This part over here is a little bit tough. I'll chop that up with a knife. Make it have a bit of chopped pork. As you can tell, I've had a couple of one too many beers. The cameraman behind the camera's laughing at me, but you can't tell me that doesn't look like a cracking pot of barbecue. We'll pull this off here. Fennel. Taste that. Let the camera know how it tastes.
Thank you, mate.
She's hot.
Oh, fucking brilliant. Unreal.
That's some good quality barbecue, folks.
Fuck.
Russ, YouTube. Can't
Brilliant.
swear, bro. Anyway, she's nice and tender. I'll chop this tough bit up here. We're in a rush. We don't want to get the footy going. But she shreds apart beautifully. She's just so moist. Just, oh. Thanks for coming. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I know I'm a pissed wreck, but that's what you do when you're cooking barbecue. Low and slow all day. You keep the beers going. Thanks for watching, guys. This is our first video. She's a bit of a all over the shop. But this is just me grand final cook up for me friends and family. Stay tuned for the next one. Love yous. Bye.